The 66th annual NBA All-Star Game is over. The final, the Western All-Stars defeated the Eastern All-Stars 192-182. Um, what a total lack of defense in this game. Total lack of defense. But I guess the fans got to see what they had, what they wanted to see. But the defense in this game is horrible. The last couple of years, when the defense has been horrible, and you got people talk about, these players are better than they were in the past. I mean, a high-scoring game back in the day would be something like 141, 139, or 133, 132, or something like that. Like maybe 150, 147, but to have almost 200 points, that's just ridiculous, right? But I'm not going to complain too much because it's an all-star game. It's an exhibition game, but still, that's a little bit ridiculous. But the big story, of course, tonight will be Anthony Davis, who had 52 points for the Western Conference All-Stars. The hometown kid, of course, the game is being played in New Orleans. He's from the New Orleans Pelicans. And that shatters the record for an All-Star game, which was set, I believe, in the 1961-62 season by Wilt Chamberlain, who had 42 points for the Philadelphia 76ers. The Philadelphia Warriors. That record had been standing for 55 years, I believe. There have been guys who come close. Paul George came within 1 point of tying it just last year. Michael Jordan, of course, had 40 points in 88. There's many guys in the high 30s. I remember Garnett had a 37-point game back in the early 2000s. I think it was 2003. I think, there's been other guys that become close. But this is the year that it was shattered. And I thought that eventually it was going to get shattered. Because, not to take anything away from Davis's performance, but in today's basketball, there's been a shift in how these coaches distribute playing time. Like prior to the early 2000s, coaches primarily were more interested in getting everybody equal playing time, or at least a good amount of playing time. Like, for instance, like they say in the early 1990s, very early 1990s, let's say the Western Conference starters would have been like Akeem Olajuwon, Karl Malone, Chris Mullin, Clyde Drexler, and Magic Johnson. The secondary players would have been, the bench players would have been something like David Robinson, trying to think of power forwards at the time in the Western Conference. I know Tim Hardaway would have been on the bench, Mitch Richmond, maybe Terry Cummins. Was Terry Cummins in the East then? I can't remember what conference he was in. But you get what I'm saying. The bench still would have been stars. So you just had more even distribution of minutes. That's why Michael Jordan for so long had the highest career all-star scoring average when it was just 20, 21 points. Now you got guys averaging 25, 26, 27 points in these things. Now the focus is more on the starters playing regular season minutes. You didn't see guys playing 30-plus minutes like you do now. Like, for instance, Anthony Davis played 32 minutes. 32 minutes. Harden played 30 minutes. Curry played 28 minutes. Durant played 27 minutes. You didn't see that. Like in the past, it was very rare for a guy to go 20 minutes in these games. But still, Anthony Davis had they had the greatest offensive performance in All-Star game history. The only 50-point game. My thing is, do they count this in career 50-point games? Like they usually count regular season and playoff games as career 50-point games. Like, does this game count in Anthony Davis's repertoire as a 50-point game? I think it should. It's 50. Other things to note in this game. Quietly, Kevin Durant had a triple-double. 21 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. The third triple-double in All-Star game history. Michael Jordan, of course, had the first triple-double in All-Star game history back in 1997. LeBron James had a more emphatic triple-double some years back. I think it might have been 2008 when he did it. I can't remember exactly what year it was. And, of course, Durant did it this year. And Russell Westbrook on the bench had 41 points. He was going for the MVP himself. But this was I guess you would call it an entertaining game, man. I mean, it was entertaining. We got the slam dunk contest and then some that we didn't have last night in that stink fest. For the Eastern Conference, LeBron James had 23 points. Rather pedestrian by his standards, but still a good game. Kyrie Irving had 22 points, 7 rebounds, and a whopping 14 assists. I mean, he was goddamn John Stockton out there tonight. And please, I hope I don't butcher this name because I still can't master this guy's last name. But Giannis Antetokounmpo. I can't get this guy's name correct, man. But Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think I was like, that's as close as I can get, man. I still can't get this guy's name right. He led the Eastern Conference with 30 points. That's why I generally just say Giannis on video. He had 30 points to lead the Eastern Conference, but shout out to Anthony Davis for winning the MVP. And this game will be talked about for a while. The Pelicans might get suddenly a bigger fan base because one of my subscribers noted to me there's some little breaking news that DeMarcus Cousins is on the market again as far as trades is concerned. After just 2 weeks ago when the Kings said emphatically that they would not be trading DeMarcus Cousins this season, and we're talking about giving him a $200 million deal. Now, all of a sudden, because of the technicals and various individual outbursts that DeMarcus Cousins has had recently, they're looking at potentially trading him again, and the first team that they're looking at is the Pelicans. Now, I would think that where DeMarcus Cousins is concerned, as great a player as he is, if they were to make a trade, it would involve Davis. But if I'm Davis, would I really want to go from the Pelicans to the Kings? It's like going, I mean, it's like having the option of being a virgin, right? And you get to choose either fucking a chick with a shitty asshole or a chick that's on a rag. Is either one of those options really that appealing? Ugh, they both stink. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. If I'm Davis, I'd rather just stay with this squad, man, build around me, whatever. And also, the Kings franchise seems kind of wishy-washy. But tell me what you guys think about Anthony Davis's performance tonight, man.